there is a warning you cannot ignore. If you fail to hear this now, your life may remain locked in the same invisible prison forever. Every day that passes without this knowledge is another day you hand your power away. Time is slipping. Opportunity is vanishing. And once it is gone, it will not return. Here is the truth that shatters illusions. Nothing around you is real until you decide it is. The world you are walking through is not fixed. It is not solid. It is not predetermined. It is waiting for you to observe it into form. Scientists proved this in the double-slit experiment. When electrons were not observed, they scattered like waves of endless possibility. But the moment an observer appeared, they collapsed into particles, into reality. The act of watching shaped the outcome, which means the act of your awareness is shaping your world. But here is the danger. Most people never use this power. They wake up every morning and feed the same thoughts. They replay the same emotions. They relive the same wounds. By observing the same story, they collapse the same limited reality again and again. And in doing so, they waste their life in repetition. What about you? Will you keep collapsing fear and doubt? Or will you choose a new observation? Because reality does not wait forever. The field of infinite energy is responsive. Right now, it answers not to your words, but to your frequency. As Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches, where you place your attention is where you place your energy. This is your warning. Keep focusing on lack and you create more lack. Shift your focus to gratitude, trust, and vision, and you pull that reality closer. Your awareness is the sculptor. Your choice is the hammer. This moment is the anvil. What will you forge? Choose now. Because every second you delay, another future dies. And let me ask you directly, have you ever woken up in the morning with thun? A heavy sense that your life is not truly yours. That no matter how hard you work, no matter how long you wait, the things you deeply desire keep slipping further out of reach. That is not an accident. That is the silent trap of unconscious observation, the invisible cage built by your own mind. And unless you decide to break it now, you will keep circling in that same loop of frustration. Imagine the cost of staying the same. Years from now, looking back and realizing you replayed the same fears, the same doubts, the same scarcity, over and over. You let your life be dictated by yesterday. You let time slip without ever truly directing it. That is the tragedy of living asleep. And it is the tragedy most people never wake from. But there is another path. A path proven not only by ancient wisdom, but also by modern science. The double-slit experiment showed us that reality waits for the observer to choose. Electrons behave like waves of probability until awareness collapses them into form. Your thoughts, your emotions, your focus are doing the same right now. Every time you focus on what is missing, you energize that reality. Every time you focus on gratitude, trust, vision, you energize a future that is waiting for you. This is not theory. This is not wishful thinking. It is a law of consciousness. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. Once you understand it, you can never return to the old way of living. Because you will know that every thought, every emotion, every act of attention is a vote for the reality you step into next. Let me tell you about a man in Texas, a veteran who returned home broken, haunted by memories he could not escape. Night after night, he replayed the war in his mind. His body trembled, his heart raced, his soul collapsed under the weight of trauma. He thought his life was over. He thought peace was impossible, until he learned a different way to observe. He began to shift his focus inward. He practiced stillness. He chose gratitude for simple things. He trained his attention to see peace instead of war. And slowly, his mind healed. His body followed. his reality transformed. He did not escape his past by force. He collapsed a new reality by choosing a new observation. If he could do that, what is possible for you? Right now, your mind is the projector, your attention is the lens, and your life is the screen. What are you projecting? What are you collapsing into being? Are you observing through fear or through vision? Are you focusing on lack or on potential? Because the choice is yours, and it is urgent. This moment is not random. You are here, hearing this, because life is giving you a signal. The field is whispering to you. Stop waiting. Stop replaying. Stop collapsing the same story. Step into a new observation. Step into the truth of your power. So I ask you again, what will you choose to observe next? Will you keep surrendering to the prison of repetition? Or will you break free, now in this moment? If you are ready to step out of the invisible cage, declare it. Write it. Speak it. Claim it. Comment right now. I want freedom. Because when you commit, when you choose, you send a signal into the quantum field that cannot be ignored. This is your doorway. This is your moment. Do not waste it. Reality is waiting for you to decide. And once you do, your entire life will begin to rearrange itself. But here is the final question you must face. If a normal person, carrying pain, carrying fear, carrying limitation, can learn to direct their observation and transform their reality, what about you? How can an ordinary human being like you truly become the architect of their own existence? Because it is you, your very consciousness, that is the silent architect shaping everything around you. Think about it. Every structure ever built began first in the unseen world of imagination. Every invention, every empire, every revolution was once only an idea in the invisible field of the mind. And so is your life. You are not just reacting to reality. You are designing it. You are projecting it. You are the one collapsing possibility into form. Do you realize the power in that? The chair you sit on, the device in your hand, the city, skyline in front of you, they all began as a vision in someone's consciousness. A spark in the invisible that became steel, glass, and light. If they could manifest entire worlds, what is stopping you from reshaping yours? Science is no longer silent on this truth. Dr. Joe Dispenza has shown through brain scans and EEGs that meditation can literally rewire the brain. People who practiced focused intention showed measurable shifts in brain waves. They generated coherent electromagnetic fields around the body. In plain words, they changed their biology with their thoughts. Their inner state shaped their outer reality. Now ask yourself, if thought alone can alter the nervous system, if attention can transform energy into measurable form, then what could your mind create if you trained it? What reality could you sculpt if you used your consciousness with precision instead of scattering it on fear and doubt? Let me remind you of one of the greatest transformations of our time, Oprah Winfrey. She was born into poverty. She faced abuse, rejection, and countless setbacks. Society told her she was unworthy. Yet she refused to let circumstances define her. She dared to imagine a different life. She saw herself as successful before the world ever acknowledged it. She spoke her vision into existence. She felt it. She lived it inside long before it appeared outside. Today she stands as a global icon, not because she was lucky, but because she became the architect of her own reality. Do you see the pattern? Those who rise are not waiting for permission. They are not victims of environment. They are masters of inner observation. They design their reality from the inside out. And you, what about you? Will you keep giving your power away by observing only the old story? Or will you choose right now to become the architect of a new one? This is not wishful thinking. It is physics. Energy flows where attention goes. Your awareness is not passive. It is directive. Feel the urgency of this moment. Every thought you think is either constructing a prison or building a palace. Every emotion you allow is either locking you down or lifting you higher. You are standing at a crossroad where one choice leads to repetition and the other to reinvention. Which road will you take? Understand this. Most people spend their lives recycling yesterday. They keep focusing on their failures, their fears, their wounds. They collapse the same limited reality again and again. They mistake the repetition of the past for the definition of who they are. But the truth is brutal and liberating. You are not your past. You are not your wounds. You are the observer. You are the builder. You are the one with the hammer of attention in your hand right now. So I ask you, what will you choose to collapse into form today? Lack or abundance? Fear or courage? Scarcity or vision? The field is not judging. It is waiting. Waiting for your signal. Waiting for your focus. Waiting for you to finally take responsibility as the architect. This is the moment to claim it, to declare it, to own it with your words and your energy. If you truly believe you are the architect of your own life, do not stay silent. Type it now, say it now, write it now. I am the architect. Let the field hear it. Let your body feel it. Let your future align to it. Because the truth is undeniable. You are not here to live someone else's script. You are here to write your own. And the page is blank. The pen is in your hand. The story has not yet been told, but time is moving. And if you do not claim your role, the old loops will keep playing. So I will leave you with this burning question. If you really hold this power, if you are the one collapsing possibility into reality, then why are you still stuck? What invisible chain has kept you circling the same path? And what will it take to finally break free? Fear and procrastination are the invisible chains holding you back. You feel them every time you hesitate. Every time you say tomorrow instead of today. Every time you look at your dreams and whisper not yet. These chains are silent, but they are heavy. They wrap around your ambition. They suffocate your vision. And if you do not break them, they will pull you deeper into the prison of regret. How many times have you promised yourself change, only to delay it once more? How many mornings have you woken up with fire in your chest, only to end the day with nothing done? How many chances have slipped through your fingers while you waited for the perfect moment? The truth is, the perfect moment does not come. The only moment you ever have is now. Neuroscience has proven this cycle. When your brain repeats the same thoughts, the same emotions, the same actions, it wires itself into habit. Those habits become circuits. Those circuits become identity. And identity becomes destiny. The more you replay hesitation, the more you're sure. Brain expects hesitation. The more you choose delay, the more delay becomes your reality. Until one day, you forget that you ever had a choice. But you do. You always have. And the moment you see it, you can no longer deny it. Let me tell you about a young man at Harvard. Brilliant, talented, full of potential. But trapped. He battled depression. He drowned in procrastination. Assignments piled up. Opportunities passed by. He convinced himself he was stuck. That his dreams were too far. That success was not meant for him. Until one day he made a different decision. He did not rebuild his life overnight. He did not shatter the chains in one blow. He started small, waking up an hour earlier, writing 1 page a day, choosing one task and finishing it. These tiny cracks in the chains grew wider. Slowly, his brain rewired. His identity shifted. The man who once postponed everything became the man who built something extraordinary. He went on to create a startup worth millions, not because he was lucky, but because he broke the habit of delay. He proved that freedom begins with one choice. What about you? Will you keep feeding the same loop? Or will you stand up now and declare enough? Because procrastination is not neutral. It is not harmless. It is the thief of your destiny. Every time you delay action, you are not only wasting time, you are reinforcing the identity of someone who waits instead of creates. And here is the danger. The longer you wait, the heavier the chains become. Neuroscience calls it reinforcement. What you repeat grows stronger. Fear becomes thicker. Delay becomes normal, and normal becomes permanent, until your dreams rot inside you, unfulfilled. But here is the secret. The same law that builds the chains can break them. Repetition. When you repeat action instead of delay, when you choose courage instead of hesitation, the brain rewires again. Circuits change, identity shifts, and destiny bends toward freedom. So I ask you now, what small action can you take today that will rip open the first crack in your chains? What one decision can you make that declares, I will not be trapped anymore? Because freedom is not about giant leaps. It is about consistent steps. The steps you take even when you are afraid. The steps you take even when you do not feel ready. Do not wait for courage to come. Create courage by moving. Do not wait for clarity. Create clarity by acting. The path will not reveal itself before you step. It reveals itself because you step. This is your warning. If you keep postponing, you are choosing the slow death of your potential. If you act now, you are choosing the birth of a new self. Which will it be? If you have ever fought against procrastination, if you have ever felt the weight of those invisible chains, type it now, write it now, comment I choose action. Declare it to yourself. Declare it to the world. Declare it to the field that is listening for your frequency. Because this is not just about goals, it is about identity. It is about destiny. Every time you act in spite of fear, you are proving to your brain, to your soul, to reality itself, that you are no longer a prisoner. You are a creator. You are free. So do not waste this moment. Take the first step. Claim your freedom. Comment, I choose action right now to break the chains. And remember this, fear and procrastination may have held you yesterday, but today, right now, you hold the key. And the only question left is this: how do you break the chains completely and rise into the best version of yourself? You break the chains by stepping into the future as if it is already the present. This is the leap most people fear to take. They keep waiting for evidence before they believe. They wait for success before they feel successful. They wait for love before they feel worthy. And in doing so, they never escape the cycle of delay. But the truth is this: reality does not give you proof first. It responds to the proof you generate inside. What if you dared to live as the person you are becoming, not the person you have been? What if you spoke as your future self, moved as your future self, felt as your future self? Imagine the power of that choice. Imagine collapsing the distance between who you are and who you could be. Dr. Joe Dispenza's research shows that when thought and emotion unite, the brain changes as if the event has already happened. EEG scans reveal new neural patterns forming. The body produces chemicals matching the future experience. In other words, when your mind and heart align, you live your future now. You teach your body to believe in a reality before it appears. And by doing so, you draw that reality closer. Let me give you a story that proves this truth. A young athlete in America faced a devastating injury. Doctors told him he would never walk again, let alone compete. For months, he stared at a future that seemed stolen. But he refused to accept that script. He began to imagine himself running. He felt the ground under his feet in his mind. He saw the finish line. He tasted victory. Every day he flooded his body with the emotions of triumph. To the outside world, it looked like fantasy. To his nervous system, it was training. To his consciousness, it was reality. Years later, he not only walked again, he ran, he raced. He crossed the line as a Paralympic medalist. He proved that the leap into the future can collapse the impossible into form. So I ask you, what future are you waiting for? What dream are you postponing until life gives you permission? Why not step into it now? Why not embody the energy of the person you know you are meant to be? Feel the urgency, because every moment you remain trapped in the old self, you delay the arrival of the new. Every time you say, I will, when you could say, I am, you push your future further away. But the moment you declare, I am now, the field responds. It rearranges. It aligns. It obeys the frequency you emit. This is not fantasy. This is physics. When intention and elevated emotion merge, the brain and body shift into a new state of being. The quantum field receives the signal, and the future you choose begins its journey toward you. So let us make this personal. Picture your dream life right now, not tomorrow, not one day, this day. See yourself already living it. How do you stand? How do you breathe? What words do you speak? What energy radiates from your heart? Hold it. Feel it. Anchor it into your nervous system. That is the leap. That is the act of creation. And understand this. No one else can do it for you. No guru, no teacher, no circumstance. Only you. You are the observer. You are the chooser. You are the one collapsing infinite futures into one present. So make your declaration. If you are ready to step into your future self now, write it, type it, speak it. Comment, I choose to become. Let the world hear it. Let the field register it. Let your soul commit to it. Because hesitation is a chain. Faith is a key. Action is the door. Step through it now. Step through it as if you are already there. This is the leap that separates dreamers from creators. Those who wait will always wait. Those who embody will always transform. The future does not belong to those who hope. It belongs to those who decide. So again, I ask you, if you can step into your future in this very moment, why are you still living in your past? Why are you still observing the old story? Why not claim the new one now? This is your moment. This is your leap. Say it with me. I choose to become. Because when you declare it, when you feel it, when you live it, reality cannot resist. It must end. It must respond. It must bring the unseen into the seen. And so I leave you with this question that burns brighter than all the rest. You have the power to step into your future now. But what is the key that makes that future truly real? What unlocks the door so it does not just exist in your imagination, but in your life? Because your emotions are the frequency you broadcast into the universe, this is the truth most people never understand. They believe change comes only from thinking differently. They repeat affirmations. They force positive thoughts. Yet nothing truly shifts. Why? Because the universe does not respond to empty words. It responds to energy. It responds to the vibration of your emotions. Ask yourself, what are you really broadcasting right now? Fear, doubt, scarcity, or gratitude? Trust, vision. Every emotion is a signal. Every feeling is a transmission. You are like a radio tower, sending frequencies into the quantum field. And the field is not deaf. It is alive. It mirrors back to you the same frequency you emit. Bob Proctor called this the law of vibration. Thought is important, but thought alone is not enough. It is thought plus emotion that sets the frequency, and frequency is what attracts. When you think abundance but feel lack, your true frequency is lack. When you think love but feel fear, your true frequency is fear. And the field responds to the real broadcast, not the mask. Let me tell you a story that reveals the power of this law. In Chicago, there was a single mother struggling to survive. Bills piled high. Opportunities seemed scarce. Every day she felt trapped by circumstances. But instead of giving up, she chose to practice something simple yet profound. Each morning, she wrote in a gratitude journal, not just words. She allowed herself to feel the gratitude, to feel as if the blessings had already arrived. She shifted her emotions, even when her environment had not changed. Within months, something extraordinary happened. She was offered the job she had dreamed of. Not just a job, but one that paid 3 times her previous salary. She moved from survival to thriving, not by luck, but by broadcasting a new frequency into the field. So let me ask you, what frequency are you choosing today? What emotional signal are you transmitting? Because every moment you indulge in fear, you call more fear. Every moment you feel gratitude, you invite more blessings. The field is not random. It is exact. Do not underestimate this. Emotion is energy in motion. It moves. It vibrates. It creates. Your heart produces an electromagnetic field thousands of times stronger than your brain. That field expands beyond your body, influencing everything around you. And that means your emotions are not private. They are powerful broadcasts shaping your reality. This is why most people stay stuck. They repeat thoughts of success, but carry emotions of failure. They speak words of abundance, but feel scarcity. They wear the mask of hope, but vibrate despair. And the universe listens not to their words, but to their true signal. So I ask you, what would happen if you aligned your emotions with your vision? What would change if you not only thought about success, but felt it? Not only dreamed of freedom, but lived in its frequency now? The truth is urgent. The life you desire is not waiting years away. It is waiting for alignment. It is waiting for you to broadcast the signal of gratitude, trust, and joy before the evidence appears. And when you do, the evidence will follow. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine your dream, not as a wish, but as a memory. Feel it in your body. Let your heart beat with it. Let your breath carry it. That emotion is the language of creation. That feeling is the command to the universe. So here is your call. If you are ready to broadcast the frequency of success, declare it. Write it, type it, speak it now. Comment, I am vibrating. Because when you commit with emotion, you send a signal, stronger than any thought alone. And remember this, you do not need to be perfect to change your frequency. You only need to be intentional. One moment of gratitude can outweigh hours of doubt. One surge of love can override fear. One act of trust can collapse possibility into form. But time is moving. The field is listening. The only question left is this: will you continue to broadcast fear and scarcity, or will you finally choose to tune into the frequency of your vision? Declare it, feel it, live it. Comment, I am vibrating right now. Let the universe hear you. Let your body believe you. Let your future align with you. Because your emotions are not passive. They are creative. They are the signal that pulls tomorrow into today. And the question burning before you is this: if emotions are the broadcast, how can you sustain that frequency when the world outside feels like chaos? You sustain it by becoming the silent observer in the middle of the storm. This is the power few ever master. Because when chaos surrounds you, your instinct is to fight, to react, to panic. But the true strength is not in reacting. It is in watching. It is in holding your ground. It is in becoming the still point while the world spins wildly around you. Ask yourself, what would happen if instead of drowning in noise, you stood in silence? What would happen if instead of being pulled into fear, you became the witness? Because when you observe without reacting, you break the loop. You step outside the chaos. You claim control over your inner state. Science confirms this. Mindfulness is not just philosophy. It is measurable. Brain scans show that regular mindfulness practice reduces activity in the amygdala, the fear center of the brain. When you become present, your nervous system calms. Stress hormones decrease. Clarity increases. In silence, the brain stops firing. Survival signals and begins to open space for vision, for creativity, for peace. But let me tell you a story. In Boston, a physician was drowning. Long hours, endless patience, the weight of responsibility crushing him. He reached the brink of burnout. His body failed. His mind collapsed. He thought the only answer was to quit. But instead, he tried something radical. He sat down. He closed his eyes. He did nothing but watch his breath. One inhale, one exhale, over and over. He became the silent observer of his own body. The storm of his career did not vanish overnight, but inside something shifted. Calm emerged. Energy returned. He faced his work again, not with exhaustion, but with clarity. Today, he continues to heal others, not because his world changed, but because he changed his relationship to it. Do you see the truth? You cannot always control the storm, but you can control the way you stand in it. And when you stand as the observer, the storm loses its power over you. So let me ask you directly, how many times has your life been hijacked by reaction? How many moments have you surrendered to anger, fear, stress, letting them dictate your choices? And how different would your reality look if instead you stayed still, present, aware? The truth is urgent. Most people live as slaves to their emotions. They let the external world push them into chaos. They keep reacting, and by reacting, they keep collapsing the same storm into their reality. But the moment you become the silent observer, the pattern shatters. The storm may rage, but it no longer controls your state. And your state is what shapes your reality. So here is your call. If you want the strength of stillness, declare it now. Write it, type it, say it, comment, I am present. Let the field hear your commitment. Let your body feel it. Let your mind obey it, because presence is power and silence is strength. Understand this. Being the silent observer is not passive. It is not weakness. It is mastery. It is the ability to stay conscious when the unconscious world reacts. It is the ability to choose your response instead of being enslaved by reflex. It is the doorway to transformation. The storm outside will always exist. Bills will come. Conflicts will arise. People will disappoint. The world will spin. But the question is not what happens out there. The question is, who are you in here? Are you a victim of every wave, or are you the rock that watches waves break and pass? So close your eyes for a moment. Imagine the storm of your life. All the noise, all the stress, all the chaos. Now imagine yourself at the center of it, watching, breathing, calm, silent. You are no longer swept away. You are the one watching. And because you watch, you are free. This is the key to sustaining your vibration. It is not about controlling the world. It is about controlling your focus within the world. It is about choosing stillness when everything tempts you to panic. So once again, I ask you, will you continue to let the storm dictate your reality? Or will you become the silent observer, the master of your inner state? Declare it now. Type 1 am present. Own it, live it, embody it, because when you choose presence, you choose power. And when you choose power, the storm no longer defines you. And the only question that remains is this: if you can hold stillness in the middle of the storm, what will change in the reality around you? When you are still, you realize the outer world is only a reflection of the inner world. This is the secret hidden in plain sight. The life you see outside is not random. It is not disconnected. It is a mirror. Every thought, every belief, every emotion is painted across the canvas of your reality. The chaos you see outside is the echo of chaos within. The beauty you see outside is the echo of harmony within. Ask yourself, how many times have you tried to change the outside world only to find it resisting you? How many times have you fought circumstances, struggled against people, tried to bend reality with force, and yet nothing shifted? Why? Because the outside was never the source. The inside was. Quantum physicist Amit Goswami said it clearly. Consciousness is the ground of being. Matter is only a derivative, which means the physical world is not the cause. It is the effect. And until you change the cause, the effect remains the same. So the question is not how do you fix the world? The question is how do you align within? Because once you shift inside, the reflection outside cannot help but change. Let me tell you about an artist in Los Angeles. She was talented, but unnoticed. Years of rejection left her doubting herself. She thought her art had no value. And so, the outer world reflected exactly that. Closed doors, silence, nothing moved. Until one day, she shifted. She stopped chasing approval and began aligning her beliefs with her vision. She chose to feel worthy, even when no one else saw her. She chose to believe in the value of her work, even when galleries ignored her. She lived in the energy of recognition before it arrived. And then it did. Seemingly out of nowhere, she was invited to showcase her art in a prestigious museum. The world mirrored back the alignment she had cultivated within. So I ask you directly, what is your outer world reflecting right now? And more importantly, what is it telling you about the state of your inner world? Because reality is a feedback loop. It is always speaking, always showing you who you are being inside. Feel the urgency of this truth. If you are filled with doubt, the world will present reasons to doubt. If you are filled with fear, the world will echo back fear. But if you are filled with trust, the world will align with trust. If you are filled with gratitude, the world will bend to gratitude. The mirror cannot lie. So what will you choose to reflect? What will you choose to project? The field is listening. Your consciousness is the brush. Your emotions are the colors. Your beliefs are the strokes. And the world is your canvas. Paint with fear, and fear will stare back at you. Paint with courage, and courage will surround you. Paint with love, and love will pour into your life. But here is the danger. Most people stare at the mirror and complain about the reflection. They demand it change first. They blame the world for showing them what they do not want to see. Yet the mirror cannot move until you do. The outer will not shift until the inner does. So take this seriously. Stop asking the world to change. Start asking yourself, what must I align within? Because when you shift inside, you collapse a new version of reality outside. This is your call to action. If you are ready to align your inner world with the life you desire, declare it now. Write it, type it, comment, I am aligned. Let the field hear you. Let your subconscious feel you. Let the mirror reflect you. Because alignment is not optional. It is the key. Without it, your dreams remain distant shadows. With it, they manifest into form. And so I leave you with a burning question. If the world outside only reflects the world inside, What happens when inside you there is still doubt? What reality does that mirror create when you have not yet silenced the voice of uncertainty within? Doubt is the crack through which your energy leaks away. You may not see it, you may not hear it, but you feel it every time you hesitate, every time you question your worth, every time you tell yourself, maybe I cannot. That whisper of doubt is small, but it drains you. It weakens your signal. It interrupts the field you are trying to broadcast into. And until you seal that crack, your power will always be scattered. Ask yourself, how many opportunities have slipped away, not because you lacked talent, but because you doubted? How many dreams have died not because they were impossible, but because you stopped believing? How many times did you stand on the edge of action, only to pull back into hesitation? That is doubt stealing your future. Belief, on the other hand, is magnetic. It is not just positive thinking. It is a field. It is a force. When you believe, your body shifts. Your actions shift. Reality itself bends toward you. Science has shown this through the placebo effect. Patients given sugar pills, but told they were medicine healed. Not because of the pill, but because of their belief. Their cells responded. Their immune system strengthened. Their body obeyed the signal of trust. Now imagine what your life could become if you believed with the same conviction. Imagine what doors would open if your trust was total, if your energy was undivided, if your heart no longer leaked through cracks of doubt. Let me tell you a story. In Florida, a cancer patient was told the odds were slim. Doctors tried a new treatment, uncertain of the outcome. But this man chose absolute faith. He believed it would work. He visualized his recovery. He felt himself healed. His conviction was unshakable, and the results stunned everyone. His body responded faster than predicted. His recovery defied the charts. Was it only the treatment? Or was it the field of trust he created within? Science calls it placebo. But, in truth, it was the power of belief collapsing a new reality into being. So I ask you now, where are you leaking energy? Where is doubt sabotaging you? Because every time you feed doubt, you weaken your magnet. And every time you feed trust, you strengthen it. The universe does not respond to what you wish for. It responds to the conviction you hold. Do not underestimate this. Belief is not passive. It is creative. When you believe, your nervous system organizes around it. Your body produces chemicals that support it. Your actions align with it. The field mirrors it. Doubt fractures that alignment. Belief forges it into steel. And here is the urgency. Doubt costs you more than time. It costs you destiny. Every second you hesitate, another possibility collapses. Every time you second guess, the frequency you emit becomes noise instead of signal. The field cannot deliver clarity if you are broadcasting confusion. So what will you choose? To keep leaking energy through doubt, or to seal the crack with conviction? This is your invitation. If you are ready to stop doubting and start trusting, declare it now. Write it, type it, say it, comment I trust. Let your words align with your energy. Let your heart align with your vision. Let the field align with your conviction. Because the truth is undeniable. The ones who rise are not the ones who never failed. They are the ones who never doubted their return. The ones who manifest are not the ones who had everything guaranteed. They are the ones who believed when there was no evidence. They sealed the crack. They stopped leaking power. They became magnetic. So let me leave you with this question. If doubt is the crack that drains you, what happens to your actions when trust finally fills you? How will you move? How will you decide? How will you live when belief becomes unshakable? When you believe, your actions become natural, no longer heavy. This is the shift that changes everything. Most people force their actions. They push, they grind. They struggle to move forward as if climbing a mountain with weights tied to their body. But when belief is real, when identity aligns with vision, action flows. It is no longer a burden. It becomes an extension of who you are. Think about it. Do you have to force yourself to breathe? Do you have to remind yourself to walk? No, because those actions are part of your identity. They are natural. The same is true with transformation. When you believe deeply, your new actions are not discipline. They are who you are. Science backs this truth. Studies in motivation reveal that when your actions align with your core values and identity, they become sustainable. Intrinsic motivation is stronger than external pressure. You no longer act to prove something. You act because it feels right, because it reflects who you have become. That is why belief and identity must come before lasting change. Without them, action feels like war. With them, action feels like flow. Let me give you a story that makes this real. In Texas, a man was trapped in obesity. Years of failed diets and broken promises had convinced him he could never change. Every attempt felt like torture. Every effort collapsed under the weight of doubt. Until one day, he stopped trying to lose weight and started becoming someone new. He chose a different identity. He told himself, "I am a healthy man." At first, it felt like a lie, but slowly, his actions began to match. He ate differently, not because of willpower, but because healthy men eat differently. He moved his body, not as punishment, but because healthy men move. Step by step, he shed over 50 kilograms. He transformed his life not by forcing action, but by aligning belief with identity. His flow carried him where struggle never could. So let me ask you, how many times have you forced yourself to act, only to fall back? How many times have you pushed through with sheer willpower, only to watch it collapse? And what would change if instead of pushing, you aligned? What would change if your actions flowed from belief instead of pressure? The urgency is clear. If you keep forcing action, you will keep burning out. If you keep grinding without alignment, you will keep breaking. But when belief shifts, when you embody a new identity, action becomes effortless. And effortless action builds momentum. Momentum builds destiny. So stop asking, how do I force myself to act? Start asking, who am I becoming? Because when you know who you are, action is no longer optional. It is automatic. It is natural. It is inevitable. Now is your moment to declare it. If you are ready to act and flow, to let belief carry you forward, write it now. Type it now. Comment, I act. Let the world hear it. Let the field feel it. Let your identity seal it. Because this is not about small goals. This is about destiny. And destiny is not built in one giant leap. It is built in consistent steps taken with conviction. Steps that feel lighter than air because they align with who you are. So I ask you, directly, will you keep forcing yourself into action that feels like punishment? Or will you align so deeply that action feels like breathing? This is the power of true belief. This is the freedom of flow. And here is the mystery. When you act in alignment, you are no longer just changing your life. You are broadcasting a frequency. You are creating ripples in the field. And those ripples do not stop with you. They spread. They influence, they inspire. So let me leave you with the question burning at the edge of your becoming. When you act with aligned belief, when your life flows instead of forcing, could those actions ripple outward to touch not just your world, but the entire world itself? Yes, because when one person changes, the entire community changes. This is the truth most people underestimate. They believe their life is small, their choices insignificant, their struggles invisible. But the field is never blind. The moment you shift, the vibration spreads. The moment you heal, you radiate that healing outward. And what begins as a spark inside you becomes a fire that touches the world. Ask yourself, have you ever felt inspired just by being near someone who carried peace? Have you ever felt courage rise in you just by hearing another person's story of triumph? That is the ripple effect. That is the silent current of transformation. Science has a name for this: quantum activism. The idea that personal change leads to collective change. When one person collapses a new reality through consciousness, that possibility expands for others. Consciousness is contagious. Belief is contagious. Transformation is contagious. And this is not theory alone. It is life. In Detroit, a man who once lived in darkness proves it. He was a prisoner, trapped by violence, consumed by hate. Society wrote him off as lost. But inside, something shifted. He turned inward. He transformed his inner world. He found peace where there was only rage. He found vision where there was only despair. And when he stepped out of prison, he did not return to the streets. He created a movement. He built an organization that rescued hundreds of young men from the same cycle of violence that once swallowed him. His change became their lifeline. His transformation became their possibility. One man altered the destiny of a community. So I ask you, do you still believe? Your change is too small to matter. Do you still think your healing is only for you? Because every time you rise, you give permission for others to rise. Every time you step into light, you illuminate the path for someone still in darkness. Feel the urgency of this truth. The world does not shift when we demand change from others. It shifts when we embody change ourselves. The ripple begins in you. The wave carries outward. And so this is your call. If you are ready to be the nucleus of transformation, to broadcast a frequency that reshapes more than just your own life, declare it. Write it, type it, comment, I ripple. Let the field hear you. Let the people around you feel you. Let the movement begin within you, because you are not just one person. You are a signal. You are a seed. And the seed you plant today can grow into a forest tomorrow. Do not underestimate this moment. You may never know how many lives your courage will touch. You may never see how far your influence will reach, but the ripple will travel. It cannot be stopped, and the question burns inside you now. If one man can rise from prison and rescue hundreds, if one mother can shift her energy and transform her family, if one choice can echo across generations, then what might your transformation awaken in the world around you? The storm is rising. The world is waiting. The field is listening. Will you stand back and hope someone else changes? Or will you step forward and become the change that changes everything? Declare it now. Comment, I ripple. Claim your role as the seed, as the signal, as the wave. Because the truth is undeniable. When one person changes, the world changes. And yet the final question remains. At the end of this entire journey, through every lesson and every step, what is the single truth you must never forget? What is the essence you must carry forward above all else? You must remember this. You are not just dreaming, you are the creator. This entire journey has been leading you here. From the first whisper of awareness to the rising roar of transformation. From realizing your consciousness shapes reality to stepping into your inner power. From breaking free of fear and procrastination to aligning your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. From trusting fully to embodying the flow to becoming a ripple that changes the world. Every piece has been pointing to this one truth. You are the architect of your destiny. So let me ask you, will you leave this video as the same person who pressed play? Or will you walk away knowing that the power to create is alive in your very being? Do not forget what you have learned. Your awareness is the foundation. Your emotions are the frequency. Your belief is the magnet. Your actions are the sculptor. And when all of these align, your reality cannot help but shift. The evidence is everywhere. In science, in the stories we shared, in the transformations happening all around us. A teacher in Seattle once sat in despair, burned out, defeated. She believed her impact was gone. But one day, she watched a video like this. And in the comments, she typed 4 words, "I am the creator." That simple act became her turning point. She committed to herself. She rose again. Today, she inspires hundreds of students, not by teaching subjects alone, but by teaching them how to believe, how to rise, how to create their own lives. Her choice to claim her identity as creator changed not only her world, but the worlds of countless others. So what about you? What will your declaration ignite? What will your commitment create? This is your invitation. If you are ready to step fully into the role you were born to play, do it now. Write it, type it, say it. Comment, "I am the creator." Because when you put it into words, you give form to energy. When you declare it, you set it in motion. When you commit publicly, you anchor it in your reality and feel the urgency. Every second you delay, the old story grows stronger. Every second you wait, another opportunity slips away. But the moment you claim it, the moment you align with it, reality bends. The field responds. The future begins to form around your decision. So here is your call to action. Comment right now, "I am the creator." Let the universe hear you. Let your future align with you. Let the ripple begin in you. If this video has awakened something inside you, seal it with action. Press the heart. Save this video so you can return to it when you need strength. Share it with those you love, because when we rise together, the whole world shifts. And do not forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss the next message that will pull you further on this path of creation. Above all, know this. Out of millions of videos you could have chosen, you chose this one. That is not chance. That is alignment. That is your soul calling you here. And your presence is the greatest gift. So I leave you with this question. Will you walk away as a dreamer, or will you step forward as the creator? The decision is yours. The moment is now, and the field is waiting for your answer. Declare it, live it, breathe it, because your destiny is not written by chance. It is written by you.